Alright. I expect you to be ready for the lesson. Okay. If you want to solve that exponential equation, as I've said in the past, your knowledge from previous grades is important, especially factorization. Okay? In this case here, the first term has a square root. That first term there. Which means if you want to simplify it, you have to eliminate the square root sign first. So the first step is to write that as 9 to the power of x plus 2 over 2 minus 3 to the power of x minus 1 equal to 26 over 27. Now if you look at this exponential equation, the right hand side, you have a rational number, that is this common fraction here. There is no x on the right. So what that means is on the left hand side, you need to create a common factor and then you factorize. Then you simplify after that. So this can be written as 3 squared times x to the power of 2 plus 1 minus 3 to the power of x minus 1 equal to 26 over 27. Okay? I'm doing step by step. Then you get 3 to the power of x plus 2 minus 3 to the power of x minus 1 equal to 26 over 27. Okay? Please be aware that it's an exponential equation and it will require knowledge of factorization. And it's going to be factorization by a common factor. Can you sit straight? Your body language is important. If in the past no teacher told anybody in the class that the way you sit determines the way you think. If you sit like someone who's sitting at home on a sofa, you think like someone sitting on a sofa. Okay. You see that's the exponent of the 9. It's x plus 2 all over 2. So 2 is the common factor. So if you split the x over 2, that is right as x over 2 plus 2 over 2 is 2 over 2. Okay. Alright. Right. Are you all following what's happening here? Right. So from here now, you need to create the common factor. So we move from the first law, from the right hand side of the first law. When I remind you, please be aware that when I write the first law, probably I used my base as A in the past. I can switch, maybe I can use X. But the concept of the first law will still be the what? The same. So if I write here x to the power of m times x to the power of n, this is equal to x to the power of m plus n. So all we are doing, we are moving from the right hand side towards the left hand side. By now, I expect everybody to have understood that concept. Okay? So this will be 3 to the power of x times 3 squared minus 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of minus 1 equal to 26 over 27. Okay? Now you can see that on the right hand side, we have a common factor. Now, please be aware, when you have an equation which is exponential, it means you must simplify until you get an exponential term, which is a monomial, with x as the what? As the exponent. Okay? On the right hand side, we don't have an exponential term. On the left hand side, we had 2 exponential terms. So I needed to create 1 exponential term out of those 2. Okay? So I've used factorization in law 1 of exponent. So I'm here now. Then I'll take out the common factor. Right? Get 3 squared minus 3 to the power of minus 1. This is equal to 26 over 27. Okay? Then, from here now, 3 squared minus 3 to the power of minus 1, I can write this as 3 to the power of x times 9 minus 1 over 3. This is equal to 26 over 27. Now, your knowledge of working with fractions is extremely important at this stage. Okay? So this becomes 3 to the power of x times 9 minus 1 over 3, that's 8 and 2 over 3. Now 8 and 2 over 3 will give me 26 over 3. Okay, you can use the calculator if you can't do it mentally. Okay? 9 minus 1 over 3, that's 8 and 2 over 3. 8 and 2 over 3 as an improper fraction will be 26 over 3. Okay? Now, because I'm getting this, from experience, I'll start smiling already because I know that those two 26s, when I divide both sides by 26 over 3, the 26s are going to what? Cancel out. You should be able to see that from a distance as you do the question. Right, so this becomes 3 to the power of x equal to 26 over 27. Well, let me just put divided there by 26 over 3. I wanted to do something mentally, but I don't want to miss anybody. So I have divided both sides by 26 over 3, and I put the division sign. It's always better when you're working with fractions to use the division sign instead of the division line. So this will be 3 to the power of x equal to 26 over 27 times 3 over 26. So you end up getting 3 to the power of x. This will give you 1 over 9. So you get 3 to the power of x equal to 3 to the power of minus 2. So your final answer, it means x will be equal to negative 2. Because this 26 and that 26, they cancel out. These two. Are you following? Yeah.
For the part where you said dx is equal to 26 over 27 divided by 26 over 3, I had did the dividing out of the 3 to the x, yeah, and then I got 26 over 3, and then I said 26 over 3 divided by 26 over 3 with the same on the other side.
Well, it's the same thing. Be aware that there are some steps as you move higher with maths. It may not be necessary to write down.
No, it's what you wrote down, but I wrote it like this way.
You see where I got 26 over 23 in brackets? I divided both sides by 26 over 3, but I didn't write it down. Okay? Because it's a very basic step. Right? It's a very basic step. And that step is no mark allocated to it. If you write it down, you won't get a mark. If you don't write it, you won't get a mark. Okay. Alright. I hope you all got x equal to negative 2. Please, when you are answering these questions, do it step by step, show all you're working out. Okay? If you do it step by step, you will realize that initially, if you thought the question was difficult, it may not be that difficult. Okay? Answer the question step by step. Alright? Okay. Then we have got that one. Alright. This question, if you want to solve it, you have to remember your knowledge of quadratic equations. Okay? It's not a simple exponential equation, it's slightly more complex. Right? So, I would suggest that you approach it this way. First, I'm going to convert. See, it's not always that you might have to convert a base of 16, to a prime base, which is a 2. It's not always. Right? So here, I'm going to convert the 16 to 4 squared first. Then get 3 times 4 to the power of x times 4 to the power of 1. Then I'll take this minus 32 to the left, it becomes a plus 32, that's equal to 0. The reason why I've done that is because I know that the first exponential term, I can create a perfect square. So this will become 4 to the power of x all squared minus minus 12. 3 times 4 to the power of 1 will give me 12 times 4 to the power of x plus 32, that's equal to z. Please take note how I moved from these two here, how they are related. Take note of that.
So what's different about it?
Huh?
What's different about it?
Okay. For this one here, the 2 is inside brackets. Okay? For this one, the 2 is outside the bracket. I have swapped the 2 and the x. That's based on one of the exponential laws. The reason why I move from here to there is because I want to create a quadratic what? Equation. As long as the exponent 2 is inside the bracket, you can't get a quadratic equation. So you have to take it outside. So then you take the x inside, then you can create a quadratic equation. Right? Are you following?
Yes.
Right? So from here, you can use the k method. So let k be equal to 4 to the power of x. With the 12. Okay. Please be aware that we have got multiplication here. It's 3 times 4 to the power of x times 4. What that means is this 3 here and that 4 can multiply each other because they are like terms. Are you following them? They are not exponential terms. So they can multiply. So 3 times 4 will give you 12. The 4 to the power of x is an exponential term, so you can't multiply 3 and this 4 here and that 4. You can't do that. Are you following that? Right? Then, from here now, after using the k method, that is letting k equal to 4 to the power of x, you end up getting k squared minus 12k plus 32. Now, you have a familiar quadratic equation, which is a grade 9 one. Okay? At this stage, you have only learned one method of solving this. Is by what? Factorization. So this will be k minus 8 times k minus 4. So you get k equal to 8 or k equal to what? 4. Are you following that? Okay, so then we move on now. Let's say when k is equal to 8, okay? So we'll put 8 here. So you end up getting 4 to the power of x equal to 8. This will give you 2 to the power of 2x equal to 2 to the power of what? 3. Then you get 2x equal to 3, and your x will be equal to 3 over 2. So that's the first answer. Are you following that?
Yes.
Right? I'm not done. I've only considered k equal to 8. I also have k equal to what? To 4. So, when k is 4, you get 4 to the power of x. 4 to the power of x is equal to 4. So x is going to be 1. So I have my second answer. Are you following? Because when I was moving around, I was just having a glance at what you wrote. Some of you struggled with this question. And be aware that on the day that you write your standardized test, you are going to see a question with which has got a complex exponential equation. So we are going to see a question on a complex exponential equation of that type. So make sure you do your corrections. Is there anybody who has got a question before I carry on? Anybody else got a question before I carry on? Okay, let's move on to the last one. Okay, so we have got that. Well, it looks scary, okay, the first time you see it, but it's not that challenging. Okay? Again, please be aware that since we have three terms, I hope you know that we have got three terms on the left-hand side. This is our first term, that's our second term, that's our third term. Because we have a trinomial there in exponential form, it means we can create a quadratic equation. And then we have to solve the quadratic equation. By the way, I think you have heard me talking about quadratic equations. They are very, very important in maths. Quadratic equations. Our next topic after exponents and sets is going to be on quadratic equations. Okay? It's a very, very important topic. Not only for maths, including in physical sciences. Okay? So quadratic equations also, they come in physical sciences. Okay? But the foundation is in mathematics. Right? That's why if you're doing physical science, you need what? Maths. Okay, so here, how can I rewrite? Can you stop that? Not drinking class, you just came from there. And it was the second one on top. Okay, so the first attempt, I can write it as 3 to the power of 2x all squared. The first attempt. If I want to solve it using my knowledge of quadratic equations, I have to write 3 to the power of 3 to the power of 4x as 3 to the power of 2x all squared minus 12 times 3 to the power of 2x plus 27, and this is equal to 0. Once you convert this to that, the question becomes a piece of cake. And everyone can eat a cake. Okay? So this will be let k equal to 3 to the power of 2x. It means the question becomes easy, because that's what I'm trying to emphasize. So we end up having k squared minus 12k plus 27 equals to 0. Now we are in grade 9. Okay? Once I write, can you pay attention? Once I write this exponential equation in terms of k, I'm moving downwards from grade 11 to grade what? 9. Not 10. 9. So if you've got a sister or brother who's doing grade 9, you should be able to help them with confidence in terms of how to solve this. Okay? So that they can be proud of you, otherwise they won't be proud of you. Okay, so this will be k minus 9 times k minus 3. So you get k equal to 9 or k equal to 3. Okay, now it's easy. Then when k is equal to 9, okay, we'll get 3 to the power of 2x to be equal to 3 squared. So we have 2x equal to 2, and x becomes 1. Then, when k is 3, we get 3 to the power of 2x equal to 3, which means 2x will be equal to 1, which means x will be a half. So these are your two solutions. Okay? Are you following that? Huh?